Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so very much for joining me. My name is Michelle from greenerygal.com, and I sell greenery and florals and ribbons and embellishments for people who like to make wreaths, centerpieces, and floral decor. Tonight, we are going to be working on a teardrop swag. That doesn't mean that everybody has to start crying. Teardrop swag is this, okay? Now, the last few times I've done a teardrop swag, we've actually done one with mesh. I have a couple of recent tutorials doing that. Today, we're actually not going to be using mesh. Now, the thing is, when you use mesh, you can use a little less product. But I wanted this to be kind of overflowing with gorgeous greens. We are going to be using some pretty ribbons from the shop. We are going to be adding in some sparkly ornaments or baubles, whatever you call them. I call them ornaments. I know across the pond people call them baubles, but whatever you call them, we're going to be using them. So you can see some of the supplies that we have, or that you can see most of the supplies that we're going to be using by going to greenerygal.com/November10. I do have a pinned comment.
It's not the right one, Pin.
Oh, God bless America.
Sorry.
Unpin that. Pin. There we go. Better? Well,
yes.
It'll catch up. Okay. So speaking of the mysterious voice in the room, I do have my friend Carrie here with me. She is going to help read comments and keep me on track and make sure I cut the tags off of everything and make sure I turn off my glue pot before I leave and all that stuff. So she's here. So everybody say hello. And hey, Shirley, welcome, welcome. And Terry, hello, girl. Have not seen you in a while. How are you? And Sheena, Miss Dodie, awesome. And Karen, hello, hello. Okay, awesome. So before we get started, please sprinkle and pass this video along. If you have any friends or anybody you think might be interested in learning about this stuff, or if you want to just save it for later, you can totally also do that. You can also text the word join to 877-861-0546. Text the word join to that number and then you'll get a reply back, and then just reply with yes, Y-E-S, and you will be subscribed. So the next time I'm live, you're going to get a happy little text message saying to come check out my Facebook page. Okay. Hello, Jennifer. Good to see you. And Peggy. Awesome. Mary, Laura. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. So yes, tonight we are doing navy and champagne. Okay. Now I would just like to take a moment and say that I matched my project today. Can I get a round of applause? Except for the yellow, okay? There's a story behind the yellow. It actually picks up some of the colors in the shirt. We're not gonna go there. But for the most part, I kind of am camouflaged behind my ribbons, and I'm okay with that, right? So I am going to start with, so let's talk a little bit about this swag itself. So this teardrop swag, it is just an evergreen. This one is a 36. I have a stash of these that I buy wholesale. It's going to make a very long, beautiful, voluptuous thing when we're done with it. You can probably also get away with using a 30-inch or like a 24-inch if you want to. But I have these, and I have these, and I have the product. So I figured we would go big with this. Now, this one it does have little pieces of some long needle pine and stuff, but it is not that expensive. So you can just go to your local craft store, find some of their evergreen pieces. You know, some of it might be visible when we're done, kind of depends. You know, like I said, this is probably going to take a lot of product, but we're going to see what happens, right? So, first step is, of course, fluffing it out. When I get these, they're flat, right? So you want to touch each needle, spread it out, do all that jazz, okay? But I've already done that to try and save time, because this is probably going to be a slightly long project because, like I said, we're going to be building in lots of layers. Well, I didn't say that. I'm saying that now. We're going to be building in lots of layers into our swag, okay? So we're going to do a 3-ribbon bow. These 3 ribbons, we have a diagonal stripe, navy and champagne. We have one that has champagne Christmas trees with white snowflakes on a navy background. And then we have this one, which is kind of like a textured champagne, it's a solid, but it's very interesting. It has like little flecks of like blue mixed in and stuff. It's very, very interesting. So we're going to be using these. I also do have a glitter net ribbon. I might put in some of this. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually integrate it into the bow. Maybe we might put in some loops. I'm not sure. I'm just going to play it by ear and wing it. But these are all part of a collection. I have a few other coordinates. If you go to the pinned comment and click on that, you will get taken to my webpage, and then you can click the thingy under the ribbons on the page, and it'll take you to a collection of like other coordinates in case this doesn't quite feel like there might be something missing for your project. Okay. All right. Oh, did I get applause? Oh, I got applause. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. It's not every day that I can match my project, but when I can, I think it's worth a shout out.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, so
Joanne also joined us from Southern California.
Joanne, hello, hello. Okay, so I'm gonna start out. I think this bow is just gonna kind of be sitting up here. I don't think we're gonna do anything really crazy with tails. All that being said, I might change my mind. So for right now, we're just gonna start and go in with, we're just gonna leave like maybe like 8-inch tail thingy, and we're gonna pinch. And let's do a twist. No, let's not do a twist. We're gonna fold it under, okay? Let's measure to 11 inches. Bring it together, assuming my hands cooperate, right? Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit. Okay, twist. We're gonna go to 11 inches again. Pinch, twist. I'm going to cut a tail. Okay. Boop. All right. Now I want to try and keep these fairly lined up for my sanity for right now. Now we're going to go in, let's go in with the tree ribbon because it's super, super pretty. So for the tree ribbon, now this is a directional ribbon, meaning your Christmas trees are upright or your Christmas trees are upside down. So I'm going to try and pay attention. I'm going to start it with the tail so the Christmas trees are kind of upright, and we're going to pinch, and I'm going to make this loop just a little bit bigger than the other ones. So that comes out to about 12 inches. Okay. Now I'm not super concerned with the direction of the trees on this as far as the loops go, because we're not doing any they're going to be, it should be fine. I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to look like the trees are upside down or anything like that, because these loops are for the most part going to be going kind of left to right. So not too worried about that. If we do get into the business of doing some fancy tails, then we might need to revisit how those lay out. But I'm going to do 4 loops, so 2 on each side of this ribbon. Okay. And I'm just eyeballing the length for the second loops because I know that my first set was good and even. Okay. Give it a pinch. And we're going to cut. Okay. Now, this is where I need to decide what I'm doing with my life. I think we're going to go in and we're going to do this one. This is the solid. I call it solid. It's not actually solid, but it's pretty darn close. We're going to do a pinch.
It almost has like a linen-y.
A little bit, yes. It's kind of like a painted linen or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not total linen. I wouldn't call it that, but it has a linen feel.
Linen-esque.
Linen, yeah, I was gonna say like a
linen-esque. So these loops, so you can kind of see the progression of the loops. We've got a short loop, we've got some medium loops, and then we have a long loop. Okay. And once you've made, don't get too hung up in measuring and everything. Just make sure that things are, for the most part, even. Bows really do take practice. I've made hundreds and hundreds of them. And even still, sometimes they don't turn out. They still cause me agita. I still get agitated sometimes when I'm doing them here on camera, or even when I'm doing them not on camera. That's just the way they are, right? It's the nature of the beast. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on each side, so 8 loops total. Maybe we'll just put a few pieces of this. Why not?
Why not?
I know.
I only live once. We've got Bonnie and CT and Diane joining us too.
Bonnie and CT and Diane. Hello, my friends. So lovely to see you all. Tell me, did any of my people win the Powerball? I can tell you I did not.
I did not either.
Dang it.
Henceforth why I'm joining you live and not from like Hawaii.
Tahiti or something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Let's do 2 loops of this stuff. Why not? This is a lot more loops than I usually put in a bow. But this ribbon is actually pretty, I mean, it's like very holy. So it's not actually going to have a very strong visual presence. So it's really just going to be a sparkly, glittery accent is my intention. Okay, so we've got everything for the most part decently lined up. Let's get us zip tied in. We're going to cross our fingers here. Say a little prayer.
Cindy is joining us and Jennifer said she won $4.
$4. That's more than we won. I gotta tell you, like Wednesday and Saturday. Actually, I should say
Don't tighten that too tight.
Thursday and Sunday, like we ran to 7-Eleven and like that's where we get our tickets from, and like we scanned to see if we won anything. Not even like $1 or $2. Okay. Look, I found these. If you guys have been watching my last few videos, you may recall me lamenting I could not find where I put them. I found them, and it was about 10 minutes ago. So that's fun. Okay. So I am going to crank down. All right, let's see what we have going here. Now I'm just going to start doing my loops and my tails kind of a little bit willy-nilly here. Want to try and alternate as best I can. Have some going in one direction and another direction, and we're just going to see what we end up with.
I still have tickets I need to check and see if I won.
You still have tickets you need to check. Girl!
But, like, no one, like, I didn't win the big one because they would have announced.
That it was somebody from Olney, Maryland.
Yeah.
Ooh,
like
I just
one.
gave away your town. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's big enough that I don't think anyone's going to find me.
You don't think anyone's going to? Okay.
Um,
Okay. We're going to just start pulling some loops
but you don't have
forward.
to be a big winner like Jennifer. I could have $4.
Could have $4. That's like almost enough to buy something at like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
That's like nothing to shake a stick at. Okay. Go like so and like yay. I'm just doing the fluffin' dance, y'all who make bows. You know this very well, I'm sure. Okay, let's plunk her in. Let's go like this. Let me adjust my camera. And we're gonna start fluffing. Start distributing out our loops and our tails and making some prettiness. Make sure you get some of your, because the evergreen is going to want to be pushing forward on your loops and make them not be as pretty and fluffy. So you're going to need to make sure that you kind of weave it around.
Laura is joining us too.
Hello, Laura. Good to see you. Okay, and if you feel like your evergreen is being too handsy, you can always just, sometimes I actually pre-flatten my evergreen where my bow is going. I did not do that this time, but I probably should have. So just put it in and start manipulating, right? Y'all have seen me, I could sit here and do this all day. I'm not going to, I'm gonna get over it at some point. And I'm gonna do some little bits of tail trimming. But you're starting to have a bow. Now this is gonna stop. When your tails are flopping like that, it means that they are too long. So we're just gonna give this guy, actually, I wonder if you can do something pretty. Kind of like tucking him back there, maybe. Maybe we can tuck this one. It's not really worth the effort. Okay. Give this guy a little trim. And once he's short, he will sit right where you need him to. He won't flop anymore.
Pamela is joining us too.
Hi, Pamela. Going to go in and start to dovetail. I'll probably make these a little bit shorter, but I just want to get them looking pretty for now until I decide for sure. Bow is done. It looks a little bit crooked on camera, but it's not. It is actually centered. So don't freak out on me. I'm freaking out on myself, but that's okay. Oh, we lost a loop. Let's get this little glittery guy out. Okay. All right, let's get these out of the way. Now, we're going to start doing a little bit of greening of our base. Now, you've seen me use this a bunch this season because I love it. I'm actually going to start with something that is not evergreen. These are my rose leaves. They are a frost green color. So they are just a little bit more of like a grayish, cool toned green. And they work really, really nicely with some of the other more traditional glittery evergreen things that I have pulled. So I'm just going to start cutting this apart. The other nice thing about the rose leaves, you get quite a few cuts out of them, and they also take up a lot of visual space. So I want to make my swag be a little bit wider, appear a little bit wider than it is built. And these are going to go a very long way towards accomplishing that, okay?
Kathy says those are one of her favorites.
Ah,
And Sherry says she loves those leaves.
excellent. I'm happy to have converted you.
Jennifer says love using those.
Thank you.
Getting all the love today.
Ah, I feel so special. So we're gonna just start putting them in. I've cut them pretty, like I've actually sliced and diced the spray pretty well, and we're just gonna start weaving pieces in to the evergreen. When we're done, you're not going to really be able to tell that, oh my gosh, there's a spring greenery in there. I use this quite a bit, but we're paying attention to, see, we're kind of making them stick out just a little bit beyond the perimeter of the evergreen, just to make it just a little bit wider. Right? You can totally do that. We've got some strings working overtime here. And so this is, you know, we're starting with a green base, but we're still greening our base, right? That's kind of what this stage is called. And we just want to make sure that when we get them in, we kind of, if you see me, I'm kind of jiggling it when I put it in to make sure that the glue catches on the evergreens. Okay. And as we start to work down, I'm kind of starting to angle them just slightly. Now I did pull two. If you are using a base that is not 36 inches, if you're using like a 24-inch base or even maybe even a 30-inch base, you probably won't need two sprays, but you know, you could also, if you know these aren't in your budget, of course you could always use ficus. But I think these just have a prettier effect. You know, it's all kind of about differentiating your design from everyone else. So that's kind of my jam, is kind of being a little bit different. So I'll put one right there too. This one has a little bit of a longer stem, so we can kind of go down in there.
Cameron wants to know if you're placing the rose leaves in any particular pattern, like a triangular.
I'm really not. I'm really just trying to go around and make sure that I get coverage, like that I have like a consistent edge all the way down. I try not to be mirror image, so like this one's a little bit higher than this one, and then so I guess in that respect I'm kind of zigzagging them. It's just one of those things that I do without actually realizing it. But you know, my brain loves symmetry, but that kind of symmetry I think would be just a little bit too much for me, because I also want it to look natural. You know, symmetry and natural don't really go together. So just try and give yourself kind of a consistent edge going around. Doesn't have to be like, this piece is actually a little bit close to this piece, but it doesn't bother me enough to do anything about it, and also sticks out a little bit more than I want. We might trim that up once we get a little farther along. But it's really just what looks good to your eye. And we still have two pieces. I do want to put some kind of around in the middle, just to bring some of that green, some of that light green into the middle of our design. Okay. Let's see, one more piece. I'm going to hang on to this A spot might be revealed as we get working. The next thing I want to add, so right now the only champagne that we have is in our bow. Now I'm going to go in with some of this. This is a long needle pine that is champagne encrusted. Now, I do not have a ton of these left. I think I have maybe 14 of them, but I figured since I was going all in with the champagne today, that we would break them out. So we're going to use this in places along the edge where we don't necessarily have rose leaves, okay? So we still have a few holes and we're going to start filling them with some long needle pine. Now we want to try and place them such that we can, that they don't stick out too. I mean, they're going to stick out, but we're going to try and remain true to the border that we've already established with the rose leaf. Out of stock on that. Thought about enough. Apparently y'all love it just as much as I do. So now I know for next year. This piece, we're going to put it right down here. So it kind of elongates the effect that we have going with our bow. Ow! I just got a finger full of hot glue. Lord. Work on my tails just a little bit. Okay. And this spray also has some glittery pine cones. We're going to save those. We'll maybe pop them in towards the end. Okay. Let's put you right there. Okay.
Some people were saying that they're having problems with freezing, so they might need to exit and come back in.
Yes, if you are having trouble with freezing, exit and come on back in, see if that fixes it.
And
it does.
Elaine, Jojo.
Oh, Jojo, hello, my dear.
Is joining us.
Okay.
She loves Navy.
She loves what?
Navy.
In the Navy. Not gonna sing. Nah, just kidding. The last couple of videos I've done, I haven't been flagged for copyright. So I wonder if they fixed whatever was going on. Wouldn't that be something? Okay. Oh, he's still a little bit too long for right there. We'll put him somewhere else. Oh, this just adds such gorgeous sparkle. So, so, so pretty. And it actually fills up. It's kind of like the rose leaves. It has very good visual presence. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like long needle pine. It really fills up your space nicely. I do still have some pieces left. I'm going to work on some of the ornaments. And then I'm gonna save these to maybe we'll pop them in here and there once we get a little more. I don't want to fill up all of my holes with this stuff because I still have the pretty stuff. So these are ornaments that I got, y'all. If you could see my table, I was like glitter encrusted. I got these ornaments from Walmart. I got them last year. I know that they have kind of navy blue. I don't know if they'll have these exact ones this year. But I know they have like navy blue compilations of ornaments. I like to get ornaments in like at least 2 different sizes. So we've got like a nice big size, and I'm going to keep the larger ones kind of in towards the center of my design. But then we're going to fill in closer to the edges with some of the smaller ones. Okay. So we kind of have this whole navy and champagne junks going. So I'm just gonna give this a nice generous dip. Find a good spot. Place it in.
Sherry says she adores a long needle pine of any kind.
I know, it's like the best. Oh, I think I got a little flesh on that little burn. Womp womp. It's okay.
Going to break out the first aid kit yet?
Not
Not yet.
not yet. We're gonna power through. Okay, so I've got one kind of angled off to the right. We're gonna have one going here to the left. And these ornaments have lots of pretty texture on them too. They're not just your plain Jane ornaments. But you'll notice that I'm kind of pushing them in pretty well. I don't want them sitting on top of the design. I actually want them to be kind of nestled in. That way they won't be as in your face. And it will actually look a little bit more natural as ornaments on a teardrop swag could possibly be. All right. I'm gonna have to give them a little bit of a hold so they'll stick. You could also choose to wire them in. If this doesn't work, then I might have to do that. This one, okay, he got a good tooth. He got stuck. All right, let's see what's going on up top. Maybe we could put one of these glittery ones. I do have one that has kind of a cool little tail. Maybe we can put him kind of like here. No, let's see if we can get him going. Let me try this one. And we lost it.
Thank God that's not breakable.
Yeah. It's still gummy too. Take 2. We're going to wire. Because you're being a jerk.
Just one in every crowd.
I know. Oh. Okay. Now I do have some glue on there already, so I know the lid is not going to pop off, but we're just going to put this in here. Just going to use some wire. And we're just going to go around back. Twist it in. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go in and trim the back. Don't forget. Let's try this one. Wonder if I should just wire it and be done with it. Just to be safe. Hello, Beverly. Bella's Creation Corner, welcome. Glad to have you here. And I'm just taking my wire and getting it around the spine of the swag. And then we're just twisting it on the back. Check the tops on your ornaments when you do this to make sure that they're stuck on there. I actually checked these guys before we started, and the tops were actually on there pretty well. That way we won't have any catastrophes, right? Ooh, that really hurts. There might be a Band-Aid and some Neosporin in my future. Let's go in with some of the smaller sized ornaments. These also have a cool, pretty texture to them. Now with these smaller ones, I want them to kind of be clustered close to where we have the larger ornaments. We'll see if the glue will hold these because they're not quite as heavy. And I also want to try and alternate the colors. So we've got a blue one here. I've put a gold one right there. We've got a gold one down at the bottom. So let's put a little blue one kind of like right next to it. Might actually do 3 down here. I'll sit here and let it dry.
Yep, Laura is also joining us.
Hello, Laura. Good to see you. Okay. All right. I hope he's going to stay. Let's get one of these glittery, sparkly ones. Maybe we'll put him right down there. You just want to create little interesting clusters, right? That's basically what we're doing here. In addition to sticking my finger directly in glue.
That's always fun.
I know. Oh, all right.
Not everyone waxes their fingertips, but
yeah. This one, I think we'll pop him right there. Okay.
Roxanne is joining us.
Welcome, Roxana. Good to see you, girl. How are ya? Let's see if we'll put, we've got this cute little onion shaped one. Maybe we can put him somewhere. Perhaps. Like nestled down in here, maybe? That's cute. Though he won't really be seen down there. Oh, that's cute. Let's do that. I do still have more greenery that I'm going to be putting in, but wanted to just kind of get the gist of my ornaments squared away, you know? We could do one of our glittered pine cones. Maybe put him kind of down in there. Just want to start adding in some interest and some excitement.
Sharon is joining us. She says, "It's good to see you. It's been a while, and that you look fabulous."
Oh, thank you. Good to see you too, Sharon. Sharon, yes. Good to see you, my friend.
And Brenda says she's burnt off so much skin from glue over the years.
Oh, girl,
I think we
great.
all have.
All right, I'm gonna hold off on more ornaments. Let's get more of our greenery in.
And now Sherry is singing along with you about the navy.
Oh Lord.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything.
Okay, so let's work on some more greens and some more sparkly pieces. Okay. Now the ornaments, you know, we want to just kind of give a feel that there's ornaments, and we're building layers. Remember, that's kind of the whole gist of this. It's all about the layers. You know, we started with our rose leaves. We added in a layer of long needle pine. Then we're putting in kind of a base coat of our ornaments, and we're just going to continually add to it. Now, these are new. Those of you that do get my monthly subscription box, pay attention. They are actually in the process of going out, and a little sneak peek. You are actually getting some champagne pieces in it. It's actually the theme of it for the month of November is champagne. So you actually are going to be getting 2 of each of these. I think I have maybe 3 boxes left. If you guys would like to have one for yourself, it is a monthly subscription. And like I said, the month of November is champagne. So you would be able to kind of roll with some of the stuff in there to kind of do what we're doing here. These are 2 of the pieces you will be getting. This is a cattail. Your subscription box, you would have 2 of these. And then these gorgeous things are rose hips. So I actually have rose hips already in 2 colors, in like a light green and a soft pink. And I just could not resist when I saw them in champagne. So we're going.
Oh, Karen got her box today and she loves it all.
Oh, she loves it. Yes, Karen, I'm so happy. Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to take these. I love the length on these. You can kind of use these instead of ferns, right? It just is going to give you, especially when you highlight it going around your bow, when you kind of have it radiating out from your bow, it just draws your eye in and does all sorts of pretty things, right? So that's kind of what we want to do. We want to just start placing some of the sparkly bits.
Oh, Dodie got her box today too.
Dodie.
Loved it all.
Dodie. So happy. I hope you guys are as crazy about champagne as I am, because like there's probably going to be a box every year for it because I love it so much. It's not quite as yellow as gold, right? But it's not as cold as silver. It's very pretty.
Jennifer says this month is so pretty.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And Audra loved her box. Thank you, thank you.
Yay! So y'all will kind of be set up already if you wanted to do something similar to this. I wish I could have put this long needle pine in there for you too, but I didn't have enough of it, unfortunately, but it would have been super, super pretty. I tried. I tried, my friends, I promise.
Oh, Mary says she can't wait to get her box.
Yes, spoiler alert. Spoiler. Just trying to find a good place for this. I don't really like that there. Maybe we'll just go down this way. Y'all, we haven't even gotten to the greenery yet. Put this piece maybe right down here to kind of give us a nice pretty point down at the bottom. So I did pull 2 of these, but I actually think that we might be okay with just the one, because I do have some more. I do have Let's see if we can get some of these bad boys in.
Laura says it's very pretty.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. See if we can get some of this sparkle in there on that side. The nice thing with these particular rose hips in the champagne color is the stems are a very pretty, kind of like a mottled cream color. Not cream, like a mottled white brown, almost like a driftwood. And it just makes it very pretty. I said that like 6 times. I said the word pretty a lot this video. But I promise you it's pretty. Now I do also have them new. I do have them also in red. So we've got red glittery rose hips here and red cattails. If you're more a traditionalist, but you like the elongated little spikes or the little cute rose hips, you can get them in a nice pretty red glitter. Those are not in your subscription box because like I said, the subscription box was champagne. So, but you got options, right? If you're a purist and you like a little bit of red sparkle.
You can always shop some more.
Yes, absolutely. I will never deter anybody from shopping. I myself have been shopping for clothes way too much.
Oh, Dodie loves the red too. She says so pretty.
It's very pretty. And we're just looking for places that can benefit from having just a little bit of this sparkly texture. I think I'm actually going to cut this piece into 2. You don't need a big honking huge cluster of rose hips right there. We can just kind of put a little few pieces here and there. All right.
Jody says the red for Valentine's.
That's a fabulous idea. Absolutely. Just trying to find a good spot for this. It takes me this long to place these. It'll take me forever to do my greenery. Goodness. It's okay. I have nowhere to be tonight. Do you? Here?
No, I'm good.
There we go. Okay, so we've got lots and lots of champagne and sparkle. We are still seeing, at least I am still seeing quite a bit of my base. And if that's the look you want to go for, that's fine. To me, the base is a tool that I can use to attach prettier things to it, right? So I'm going to start going in. This is a glittery mixed needle pine spray. I'll probably only use 1 spray, and I'll actually cut these pieces up into 2 because this is a really long piece. I don't think we'll need it this long. So we're gonna just start filling in and adding some more sparkly goodness all the way around. Kind of trying to break up the green of the base and just adding some pretty interest and some sparkle. So this is actually 2 kinds of long needle pine that we're putting into this design. But again, remember what I was saying, we are layering. This piece is not quite as long, so we're gonna maybe pop this in right down there. Still have 3 pieces left plus pine cones. We might be adding these pine cones into my little collection spot. The bag of wayward pine cones. You all know you have one, right? I'm not the only one, I hope.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Sherry says, "Oh my, this is so pretty."
Thank you, Sherry.
Audra
Appreciate that.
says, "Just stunning." She loves it.
Thank you, Audra.
And Tracy sent lots of hearts.
Lots of hearts. I love hearts. Thank you. Appreciate that. And notice I'm also trying to put some in the middle, right? It's not all about the edges. We do want to bring in some of those textures into the middle of our design. How am I doing on time? Oh, Lord. We're going to cut this into 2. Need something right there. Okay. Oh, it's looking super lush. Okay. All right. Next, we're gonna go in with let's do some of our flocked cedar. Yes, we're gonna do it. Executive decision made.
Sherry says she has a bin of wayward pine cones, snowflakes, ribbons, stems,
Yes.
etc.
It's like the land of forgotten toys, right? Oh my goodness. I feel you, girl. All right, so we are going to start going in with our flocked cedar. I chose the flocked version. This also does come in an unflocked, like a green version with yellow tips. I personally chose the flocked version because I knew I was working on a dark base and I just wanted a little bit of lightness, I guess you would say. Wanted just a little bit of that minty snow-covered goodness.
And Terry says she loves it.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you, my friend. Absolutely. But basically now it's just an exercise in kind of looking at it, try to look at it with a fresh eye and see where you think you can layer in some stuff. And this piece came off from something else. So we will just use it to make a new stem. I don't think I'm going to actually use the other 2 greeneries that I pulled, friends. I know you're shocked, right?
I'm glad I was sitting down for that news.
Yeah. It's very possible that I have a lot of textures of greenery in my shop that I just love, and I get all excited. I get all super, super excited when I go to pull a project. And I'm like, we should use this and this and this. And then we end up not using it. So when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go back to the webpage. I'm going to pull out what we did not use. So if you want to get it all, you totally can. You just have to do it before the video's over, or like as soon as the video's over. Because I know a lot of you trust me with my greenery choices. So just know that they will all go together magically. And it just so happens that My swag wasn't big enough. I ran out of room.
Oh,
I know.
Elaine says she loves the flocked cedar.
Thank you.
Jennifer says this is beautiful for winter and she loves it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Tracy also is loving it.
Appreciate that. So I am actually going to probably use the whole bush of this cedar. Since I'm not going to be using the other two greens that I pulled. Just to make sure that we have good coverage, I'm going to go around, check my edges on the side, make sure that we don't have any big, huge clumps of yucky base showing. And like, I know I'm going to need some more kind of over on this side because I've been neglecting it because it's on the opposite side of where I'm standing. So let's get some pieces shoved in there. Get the glue strings out. Have a drink of water.
Hydrate, hydrate.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Yes.
Kathy says the swag is so pretty and then you look great.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I went off of my health plan today, had a quesadilla for lunch, which is not allowed, but I was hungry because I totally forgot to eat for 3 hours, 4 hours actually. And so now I feel like all bloated and gross. It's all first word problems, friends. It's okay. It's okay. They say the camera adds 10 pounds, but really, it's the quesadilla that's adding the 10 pounds. I'm telling you that. Oh, that's so pretty right there. Let's put a little piece of this right in the middle. Yes, right there. Almost done. Thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. Appreciate you hanging out and wait until I bleh, get all the glue strings out of my life.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
That's like saying you're going to get rid of the glitter too.
I wish I could. Just kidding. I love glitter. Glitter is the best. No, don't want that there. All right, you know what? I think I'm at the point where I need to step away and assess if I need to add anything else. Oh, that's pretty right there. Okay, this long needle pine is just so gorgeous. So, so pretty. Whew. Okay, so what?
It's the life of the party today.
I know, right? So I still have lots of odds and ends. I'm going to step away, friends. You all know sometimes you just have to do that. Plus, I'm over my hour. I might add a little bit more when I get back into the office tomorrow.
It looks beautiful.
But it's like super full. I was a little bit hesitant about my bow, but now that it's got all of the pretties kind of around it, it's lovely. Very happy with it. Lots of layers of different ribbons. Little bits of greens peeking out. It's just very pretty. Okay.
Oh, you're getting the gorgeouses. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. Let me bring it up close so you guys can see it. Even though it's zoomed in, but we'll go sideways, I guess. There we go. You could do the same thing as I'm holding it sideways. These would make lovely, lovely garland as well if you actually use a garland base instead of a swag base, but you kind of applied the same principles of having your little wispies and building it out in layers and putting in your ornaments and stuff. You could absolutely do that. It is gorgeous. Lovely. And we did not use mesh. So remember what I said. If you are planning, if you don't plan on using mesh, you are going to probably end up using a lot more greenery than you would have. We ended up using two. Name was Michelle, for those of you that are new or don't know or forgot or whatever. greenerygal.com/November10, and you will see a page that has most of the stuff that we use today, except for the ornaments and the base. But you could buy all the greens, even if you don't want to do a project like this. I know you guys appreciate kind of all the coordination that goes into when I do projects and, you know, mixing, matching greenery and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I like to just go in and start working with you so you can see how the different leaves and petals and bushes and whatever work together. So thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure, and I will catch you guys on the next live next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Bye-bye.